When Billy Kelly died in 2009, he was described, within Republican circles, as a lifelong Republican, from a strong Republican family. Billy was imprisoned, in the Crumlin Road Jail, in the 1950s, for his involvement in the IRA's border campaign. Billy remained an active Republican for the next 50 years.
Who was Billy Kelly? Well, as you will have heard, Billy Kelly was a lifelong Republican, but the focus in this documentary is more about John Kelly, for reasons that will become apparent as this documentary unfolds.
John Kelly became active in Republican politics in the 1940s. He was brought up in the New Lodge area of North Belfast. During Operation Harvest, the IRA's 1950s border campaign, Kelly was imprisoned for Republican activities. When he was released from prison, on the ending of the campaign in 1962, he remained active in the Republican movement.
He was jailed in 1956, from 1966 to 1964.
And what was he jailed for then?
Membership of the IRA, control of the arms. And then suddenly 1969 erupted, and John, old IRA as we would have been classed then, were called upon to move in, and John moved into the thing, and he became the chairperson of the Citizens Action Group, Citizens Defence Committee for the whole of Belfast and the North in general. Paddy Hilary sat in my parlour in Brookhill Avenue in Belfast, number 11 Brookhill Avenue in Belfast, in 1970, in September, after the meetings in Dublin, and reiterated to my mother exactly what they were going to do. And that was all done on the word of Frank Aiken. Because Frank Aiken, when they wanted somebody to contract in the North, Frank Aiken told me to go and get my mother. And that's how we got involved.
In the late 1960s, tensions within Republicanism resulted in a split within the IRA and Sinn Féin. John Kelly was one of those to walk out of the 1970 Sinn Féin annual conference in Dublin's Mansion House. He went on to participate in the reorganisation of extreme IRA republicanism.
The formation of the IRA, Provisional IRA, in Dublin, and with Sean McStephen came in as Chief of Staff and others.
Do you know who set it up initially?
My brother John and Sean McStephen set it up initially.
There were two of them, yeah?
Yeah. John persisted and helped the formation of the IRA, set up the command structures, and turned this defence committees, that's what he had managed in the North, turned them into IRA units.
John's extended family, with few exceptions, were largely involved in the IRA. His father was a member of the IRA from 1918, according to John's brother Philip. His grandmother and mother were leaders within Sinn Féin, and also IRA operatives. John Kelly, a founder member of the Provisional IRA, was the driving force behind turning small street movements from all around Northern Ireland into so-called defence committees. From the outset, he set out to ensure veteran Republicans would ultimately have control of each area's defence committee.
And no one, which included the Taoiseach of the time, the Minister for Defence, the Minister for Finance, who was Charlie Haughey, was in any doubt as to what the purpose of those meetings were. That arms were required within the 6 counties.
In a communication by Peter Taylor, a well-known journalist and commentator on the Northern Ireland Troubles, Peter stated that John Kelly had told him how that he brought money from Dublin to distribute to people who were on the barricades. Peter inquired of Mr. Kelly, how often did this happen? Mr. Kelly replied, every week. Peter goes on to say that he asked another question of John Kelly. So what you're saying is that you brought money from Dublin and effectively it was given into the hands of the IRA? To which Mr. Kelly replied, you could say that. Later on in this documentary, you will learn how that Irish state papers reveal that the Department for Finance in Dublin, they passed money to the Irish Red Cross Society. The Irish Red Cross Society transferred the money to an account in another bank under the title of the Belfast account. You will also learn that Captain James Kelly had complete control of this money for so-called defence purposes in Northern Ireland. Anyone could be forgiven for thinking, what happened to the money that Captain James Kelly from Irish G2 Military Intelligence was in control of? What happened to that money? Whose hands did it end up in?